Walking into the kitchen, it was still pretty dark, and I was coming into the dining area. I heard them sing, and it created such a beautiful energy that I wanted to share that with you this morning. And it's also a good way for us to be present, to come into a space and not have all the other flutters out there. And then also this morning I wanted to just bring our attention to what you guys created yesterday. This beautiful piece of what dignity means to you. And I just wanted to display this as a symbol of your work, your uniqueness and our diversity, but bringing it together as one piece. And that is what I wanted to do through this. So this is going to be our symbol of our work together here for yesterday. And thank you to everyone that contributed. If you feel you still want to add to this is going to go in up on my wall at the office. If you feel that you still want to contribute to this and you haven't, please do so during the course of the day. So just to get a sense of what yesterday was like for you. So I think we're going to start with Mr. Matingo. We're going to start with Mr. Matingo. Just one word of yesterday. How was yesterday for you?
And awareness.
Yes. Surprising. Surprising? Surprising.
Interesting.
Lovely.
Thought-provoking. Wonderful. Uplifting. Much feeling.
Pardon?
Feeling.
Feeling.
Teachable moments. Adventurous. Unique.
Wonderful. Exciting.
Pardon?
Exciting.
Exciting.
Yesterday I was told
Amazing. Absolutely.
fun.
Right?
Mysterious.
Enjoyable.
Lovely.
Lekker. Exciting.
Very good.
Inspiring.
Beautiful. Awesome.
Educated. Encouraging. Probably. Interesting. Confusion.
Just wow.
Humble.
Empowering.
It was amazing. Yes, for me. And just to experience all this, it was really good. So thank you. And then maybe I'm just going to ask a few of you. You can pop when you feel like it. So we have a thing that Stan introduced. Pop when you're hot. When you feel the urge to
The
talk.
popcorn method.
You talk when you feel, the urge to talk. So just what are you expecting out of today? How do you feel about today?
Can I say something? I'm not my target group, but I'm very humbled to be here. And I think three things come to mind with this situation and what you guys are doing. We spoke about it. Is acceptance, tolerance, and no judgment. And if we can live like that, and finding just a little bit of joy in everything that we do, I think collaboratively as a human race, we could actually make it. That's it.
So yes, you can tell me how you are feeling this morning, how you are feeling, or maybe what you expect out of the day, or you can just give me a comment of what's on your mind regarding what we're doing here for today. And today is a big day. Today is the celebration of Global Dignity Day. And people are doing this all around the world. So we are part of a bigger group that's sharing in this very important concept of dignity for everyone. How does that make you feel to be part of something like that? Yes,
Honestly, I thought like for me, I think one day I thought like this is going to be a bit boring and it's going to be like we're going to hear what dignity is all about and give our presentation, but this was really like a great experience for me, and I really enjoyed to meet new people like that thinks from like different and has other perspectives of life.
I feel like coming here and like going out, I feel like I'm gonna walk away with more than what I came with.
That's fantastic, and that's what we're aiming for.
I think I'm hoping, I'm here with, I think I'm fortunate as a teacher to be able to be here with my 3 learners from my school. So I'm hoping that they are going to be inspired and that we 4 can come to an understanding of how we can take this back to our school and how they can then be the leaders of this campaign in our school for next year. So I hope they have the same vision that I do. So today to me is about planning for the future and taking this forward and making it bigger.
That's awesome. I'm very excited actually. I'm very excited. That's fantastic. Thank you. That's what we want to hear. Any other comments? I'll take 2 more comments.
I think it's very inspiring, like hearing the things, what other people went through, how other people are feeling, and just knowing that at the end of the day, everyone has one point, and it's to unite mankind as one. People to stand, live dignified lives, and I think it's just so inspiring to hear all these things and get motivated to go out to the real world and then just go and use all these things that you learn here and just in your daily life to affect other people who might not have dignity in their lives, to affect them to become a better person they actually are, and just like spread positive vibes.
That's fantastic. Absolutely. To be the ambassadors and the change makers and be that change that you want to see in the community. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. Last comment from someone.
I'm fully excited, and another thing is that because we like the first ambassadors, I feel so blessed to actually be part of something that, one day when I grow up, I'll be like, I was a part of that.
That's fantastic. That's beautiful. And it was so, I was so excited and I was so happy and I was so, encouraged when I saw you guys and the way that you interacted last night after dinner, and I must confess I forgot your sweets and your chips and your lollipops, and I was in bed and I was like, get up and go and give it to you, but you were having fun without it, so we'll get it later. But that really encouraged me to see the youth of our country coming together in its diversity, just working together. And here we have a common cause, here we have a common idea of what we want to do. So that was awesome, that was inspiring for me. And that's what excites me about what I do. Even if we just create a space where people come together and to see that happen, that's encouraging. So I want to thank each and every one of you for the spirit that you've brought yesterday and today. Just being excited about these 2 days, for the energy that you brought, for just participating. Thank you. We're going to see a lot more of that today because we have some exciting things to discuss today. So I'm going to hand you over to Stan. Give yourselves a round of applause. Start the day on a high note.
Thank you, Lucretia. I think what Lucretia did was really, very important. Just for us to be here together. And just remind ourselves, that we are here for a particular purpose. We are from different worlds, different experiences, but this one thing brings us together. We're going back to those worlds. We're going back to those experiences. But hopefully, we're going to see it differently. Hopefully, we can experience it differently. And above all, hopefully, we will make a big difference. And I quite like the point that this cohort of dignity ambassadors will lead the process next year. And I'm glad there are many teachers here so that you can work with the teacher. And I know that some of your schools have already made the decision that global dignity is going to be an integral part of your school year and of your school, the principal, when you heard about this before you guys even did what you did, he committed, himself and the school to focus strongly on dignity. Because you see, we have to focus on what it is that binds us. I mean, you were so right yesterday when some of you said and reminded us that there's one race, and that's the human race. But Ben Ockley is one of my favorite African writers. But in one of his writings, he says to young people, in fact, a speech he made at university, he said to young people, and please teachers, I'm going to now say something that might not be completely educational in terms of my wording, but I'm quoting Ben Ockley when he said to these university students, you must get to a point where you need to transcend the bullshit of your parents. Because sometimes our parents are trapped. I'm trapped, my generation, trapped in whatever it is we're trapped in. And you guys give me hope because you are able to transcend that. I just see the ease with which you interact, even though you come from different schools, to different provinces, and that is encouraging. That is encouraging. So the question, and it's on your program, that we're grappling with this morning. So this first question is, what is dignity? Now we have all engaged with this concept. You told us yesterday what you think dignity is, but let's just try and have a common thread here amongst ourselves about what dignity means. Take the experience of yesterday, and so let's say you and I have to go out back to school, and somebody asks you, so what was this about? What is dignity? What is it that you will tell them? And then the other thing that the part of that question is how do we think about the future? Because you're the first cohort. You need to tell us what you think should happen. Should we continue? You need to say, no, we will continue. But how should we continue? Okay. And because sometimes adults do things without always checking with the people who are going to be the recipients and the beneficiaries of things, what they're thinking. So it would be useful for us to get your feelings about how do we take this forward. Okay. So let's open the floor, and the question is, what is dignity? So if you're going to speak, and that goes for both dialogues, I'm going to ask you to come up here. And the reason for that is simply so that your voice can be picked up by the camera. Not just by the camera, but the sound of your voice can also be picked up. Because what's going to happen is Dion will eventually edit all the footage, and he will give us a 30-minute DVD, and we will ensure that the different schools representative will get a copy of the DVD. Just so you can. So when you promote it next year, that's your promotional material that you show to. You all okay with that? Yeah. So who would like to come up and just talk about what dignity means to you and what it is?
I think, first of all, what happened yesterday is actually a form of dignity. It's like an actual physical action of showing what dignity is, because we spoke about respect and allowing other people to be themselves, and about honoring other people and valuing them. And what happened yesterday is dignity, allowing us, to come here and to present whatever we presented, and to actually feel welcome, and to actually feel that we were appreciated and our voices were heard, and that is dignity. So that's all I wanted to say.
Thank you. very often we talk about stuff. You know, we talk about Ubuntu, but we don't practice it. And I like that, the fact that you say that yesterday was dignity in action. And that's really what it's about, walking the talk. Thank you.
What is dignity? So I don't believe that there is an exact definition for what dignity is, because to this very moment I still try to find a spot-on definition. But dignity, in my personal opinion, dignity is something that has factors that are linked to it. So respect, values, to be able to sympathize and empathize with others, those are things that are linked to dignity. So I feel that dignity isn't a definition, but more are factors that are linked to each other. Thank you.
So this is something that I just have been contemplating today. I'm very aware all the time that I come from a very white, privileged background, and because of that, my life has been pretty easy. But I also feel that with the way that South Africa is changing at the moment, I also get a lot of judgment because of that, and I have to feel guilty about it a lot of the time. And I'm in a specific situation where I'm married to a coloured man, and so I have mixed race children, and I'm trying to negotiate that space in South Africa too. And so I think my understanding of dignity is that we all have perspectives from where we come from, and our perspectives are not always right, and they're not always real, but I need to have the confidence to be able to share my perspective in safety and not be judged for it, so that I have the opportunity to be taught a better perspective. Because I just feel that if I share the way I think of things and I'm judged for it, I'm going to shut up next time, and the chances of me changing my perspective are then reduced. So I think we need to be able to dialogue with each other, talk about each other, share the way we see things, even if they're offensive and even if they're wrong, to have the opportunity to change. Otherwise, we're all going to be in our bubbles all the time, not changing, and that means that we're going to never be unified. So I think the discussion about who we are as South Africans needs to be done in a dignified manner, and we need to value everybody's perspectives.
So to me, I believe dignity is not just a word, but a lifestyle. Because that man over there, Nelson Mandela, he lived dignity every single day. Every single day that he spent in the cell, every painful thing that he went through, he still was dignified. He was able to respect others and just think of himself in a better place, you know. I feel like dignity is something we need to inspire and keep on wake up and just it's something you practice every single day, because we won't get it perfect the first time. We'll all make mistakes on the way, but we mustn't be afraid to make those mistakes. We must be able to overcome them. So I believe dignity is a lifestyle. It's something that we must practice every day. We must always work on. And if you ever have questions about someone else on their definition, you must always ask. You know, you must try and try and figure out your own definition, because everyone has their own definition of dignity. I just think you need to respect others' definition. Thank you.
I'll say yesterday I felt very safe and respected, because most of the times where, sorry to say, I surround myself by citizens, it's part of an insecurity that I have, that I feel very undermined, and through what's happening in South Africa lately, and through xenophobia and stuff. So I felt at times I feel not that I don't belong here, but I don't know if I'll fit in, let's say it in that way. So yeah, and then when I came here, I felt safe enough to express my feelings or express my mind, and I felt amazed. Yeah, thank you.
For me, with what we did yesterday, all of us, when we sat there while we were eating and having fun, just chit-chatting. At first, I was just holding myself. I didn't want to express myself as the true me. You see, guys, I'm sure some of you saw that I actually eat a lot. I see. So at first I was ashamed of that, but as soon as I saw those gents going for second rounds there with the food, I was like, what? Shit, let me also go there. You know? So basically I expressed myself. I was me. I was being me, and it seemed like everyone was cool with that, you know. They weren't like judging anyone or sorts, and if anyone made a mistake, they would like apologize like she did yesterday, and that for me stood out a lot, and it actually gave me that mentality that a person is rightful to live a dignified life. A person, each and every person has the right to lead that type of life. And that, I think that's it. Thank you.
I just wanted to share something. I think that dignity is mutual respect mutual respect regardless of your position and your status in life, and to not belittle someone else's level of education or their lifestyle, or yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
I feel that dignity has many arms or legs. It stretches out to more areas. For example, to old people or sick people or gay people, and to teachers. And I think you have to deserve your respect and dignity. So you have a responsibility also towards that.
What I feel is a very important part of dignity is treating people like they're the most important person in your life. And what I mean by that is not telling them your life secrets, but smiling at them when you greet them and just asking them how they are doing and actually showing an interest. And I think if we treated each other more like that, and that's also what I've seen there, like people show interest and they talk with each other and they laugh with each other, and really, I think if we do that more, dignity would be more common, and we would actually treat people like they were there, like they were a person. So I feel that, yeah, treating people like they're the most important person in your life is a very important part of dignity. I hope you understand what I mean by that.
Not so long ago, I didn't live a very dignifying life, which I actually realized through this campaign. About 2 years ago, I moved to Paarl. I came from KwaZulu-Natal, and I was in a small little town, school and everything. So everyone knew everyone, and if you had a bit of talent at something, you were good, and you were at the top. And when I came here, and there was like so much talent and so much of everything, I almost felt like I'm not worthy of anything anymore. And I felt like I permanently had to impress others all the time, and I felt like I have to prove to other people I actually mean something. And during this campaign, I actually realized, well, that's not what life's about, and that is where dignity comes in. You should be proud of who you are, and who others want you to be shouldn't define you. You are who you are meant to be, and to have dignity and self-respect, you have to love yourself exactly for who you are. You don't have to try to change to impress other people. You don't have to try to be better than you already can. If you do your best, then that is all you can give, and that is exactly what it's all about, is just to do your best and live who you are. And I think that is what dignity is actually about.
I really want to feel uncomfortable, but I also don't want to rush anything, you know. So for the next half an hour, the mic is still open. You can remain open. Because, you know, sometimes the moment isn't right for somebody to say something. But then something else happens and moment comes along. So at any point, if you want to share anything, please, in the next half an hour, do that. And I'm just, just so conscious of how big a deal dignity really is. Such a simple word. When I was younger, and life was difficult for us, there's a song that George Benson and Whitney Houston both sing. It's called The Greatest Love of All. I don't expect you to know it. But in those difficult days for us, that was such a powerful song. And it speaks about finding the greatest love inside of you. And I feel like I'm singing, but I can't sing. But there's a line in there which for me was always such a powerful line. And the line simply said, no matter what they take from you, they can't take away my dignity. And because I've got the greatest love inside of me. And Stefan, your sharing, just discovering that. I mean, it's so beautiful. And because ultimately, it works differently at different stages of our life. But ultimately, we're all trying to impress people. We're all trying to make a good impression. We're all trying to leave a space and people say, okay, that was good. I like what she said, that kind of thing. But it's really about coming to terms with who you are as a person. Dignity starts with me. I worked with prisoners for a long time, teaching them conflict resolution skills. And we work with hardened criminals. Now, Paulsville is the most notorious prison in South Africa. And I worked with those criminals, offenders in Paulsville prison. And we had a saying which took them a while to process. But it was simply this: change is possible. Change begins with you. Because in their case, they're always innocent. Somebody framed them. They were in the wrong place at the wrong time, And so it's hard to see when somebody gets it, and it starts with me. I have to look inside first, because I can't give what I don't have. And one person in particular, I wrote a long essay about why the life that he had been involved in up to that point is just not worth it. Nobody preached to him. He just sat down one night and wrote. Then I knew this guy didn't know. Every year, he sends me an SMS. Mr. H, it's now 14 years that I'm out of prison. And that is going to be the critical thing in this country. If we all just look inside first. Because what we give to each other is a reflection of what's inside. And so all the stuff that's happening, the gender-based violence, the violent expression of discontent, the hatred you see on social media, where does it come from? It comes from inside. And I think us grappling with dignity gives us an opportunity to realize that actually dignity starts with me. So before we talk about how we can get this forward, I must tell you a story. trained as a teacher, and I was a teacher for 16 years, so and I love telling stories. And Krisha and other colleagues will tell you at times about stories of it. In fact, tonight is a story. Tonight or last night? Tonight. This storytelling evening at work. But this story, and some of you might have heard it, but it's still a very interesting story, is about a group of monks who live at the edge of a beautiful forest. And can you all see? These monks live at the edge of a beautiful forest, and people would come into the forest to picnic and just enjoy the beauty. And at the edge was this monastery where all these monks lived. The only problem with these monks was that they were a group of old men, and they had no new recruits for a long time. So one day, the abbot, I think that's the chief monk is the abbot, decided to go and visit the chief rabbi of the Jewish establishment on the other side of the forest. So he walks through the forest, and they didn't really have much contact, but he knew that there was a Jewish establishment there. So he walked and got there and wasn't sure what reception he would get, but he got the most generous reception. He was welcomed warmly, and he sat down with the chief rabbi, and they talked, and they started talking about their respective organizations. And the abbot said, it's so sad that we are a dying order because we don't get new blood in. Chief rabbi said, "Mother, it's the same problem here. And they were crying on each other's shoulders, and eventually the abbot had to leave. And so look between them, and it's such a good chat. But what do I tell my colleagues when I go back? They're going to ask me, And he said, tell me, do you have something that I can take to my colleagues? And the chief rabbi said, all I can tell you is that the Messiah is one of you. So having made his way back to the abbot, to the monastery, he started thinking about this. The Messiah is one of us. And as most humans would do, he started thinking, I wonder if it's Brother Peter. Oh, it could be a man. That man is so pious. He's so serene. Oh, it could be Brother Peter. Oh, but perhaps it could be Brother Andrew. Oh, that man prays for hours. Maybe it's him. What about Brother Benjamin? He knows the scripture so well. And he went through each one of the monks. And each one of them was a potential Messiah. And then he thought to himself, what is me? What if I'm the Messiah? So he got back to the monastery, and of course, the other monks wanted to know what happened. He said, well, all I can tell you is that the Messiah is one of us. And so the same thought process happened with each one of them. And each one of them started seeing the other as a potential Messiah. But all of them started thinking, maybe I'm the Messiah. And the moral of the story is simply that if we start seeing each other for what we are worth, for the potential that we possess, irrespective of the differences, our attitude towards them is not changing. But if we also start seeing ourselves as potential game changers, potential inspiration leaders, potential whatever, we will start thinking differently about ourselves. Just imagine we have that powerful combination of people feeling, looking at themselves as people with enormous potential, but also looking at others with the same eyes. And the story says that because the relationship amongst them started changing so dramatically, other people started noticing, people came to the fathers. And one young man said, "Can I?" And more young people joined, and it became a flourishing honesty again. That's only a story, but there's a powerful model to it. If we want this country to change, it will have to start with people like you and me. It will have to start there. It will have to start with me seeing the other as a person of worth, a person with a contribution to make. Now that goes against our brain. And particularly for my generation, goes against everything that we've been schooled in, that we've been socialized in. But that's what's needed. That is what's needed. And that's what is going on with the campaign wants to achieve. It's just celebrate dignity. Celebrate dignity. And boy, did you celebrate dignity. In an amazing way yesterday and this morning, just from what you've said. So I want to shift the conversation a little bit now and talk about, so what do you think should happen from this point on? And in the second dialogue, we are going to talk about what contribution you think you can make, but just in general, I think that we want to take it to scale, we want to have it as a national event every year. But what are your thoughts about how we can take this forward next year and the year after and the year after? Any comments? Any tips you have for us? Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to speak personally. My weakness is I'm very emotional, and because of that, there are a lot of things I'd like to do, but I don't feel comfortable or confident enough to do it because of my emotions. But I know that I have the potential, but because of my emotions, I can't do it. And that is because I was surrounded by an environment where they did not allow me to express my emotions. I think we should allow people, when they're feeling sad, let them feel sad for a bit, because personally for me, if I feel sad and I feel hurt, if I want to cry, that's a form of me healing. I want to feel the pain so that I can know, okay, I don't want to feel the pain again. What can I do so that I get rid of the pain? So what we can do is create an environment where people feel comfortable and safe enough to express their emotions, to accept that they are hurting. Because when you accept that you are hurting, it means that you would take it into consideration, and then because of that, automatically you will want to find a way to move forward, because I'm sure none of us wants to stay sad forever. So we should create an environment where people feel that they can cry if they want to cry, they can shout if they want to shout, but then if you see that the person is hurting so bad that they need help, if you can't provide the help for them, direct them to an institution or to an organization or something like that that can help them, gain the confidence back. Because I just feel like it's really beautiful when someone like having a best friend, your best friend will allow you to feel the pain, and then you will feel that you are worthy of living, because once you feel the pain, you will look for a solution. And that's all I wanted to say.
Okay. So this year, my friend decided to change. I don't think change her religion, and basically our school is a very Christian school, and all of my friends, she decided that she wanted to be an atheist. And all of my friends heard this about her, and all of them they didn't want to be a friend anymore. And then after that, she decided that she also wanted to change her sexuality, and she decided to be bisexual. And after that, nobody wanted to speak to her because everyone knew that she was bisexual, and everyone thought that she likes me, so I don't want to, and after that, it started to spread around school. Her mother found out, and her mother's also very Christian, strong Christian. And after that, her mother didn't want to speak to her, then she went to her father and she lived there. But every single day, when she came to school, she always had a smile on her face. She was always happy. She was always, she always spoke to people, even though she knew that nobody, everyone judged her. And I think that we should all respect everyone because we're all people. Doesn't matter if they change their religion isn't the same or their sexuality isn't the same. We should treat people with respect.
So going back to our schools, I think it's quite important that it starts with the individual. So you have to go back, and as the word says, we have to be ambassadors for what happened at the Global Dignity Campaign in Robben Island, and also tell them the stories and everything that happened. So just go back and explain to people what dignity means, because even to me, when I decided to do this campaign, I wasn't sure what Afrikaans waardigheid meant, and I actually had to go do research, and I realized what an amazing word this is, and I really feel like it needs to be incorporated into schools. So I think we should all go back and just tell the stories and be ambassadors.
There are many ways to take this from here, but the one thing we can't do is to keep quiet. I've learned something very important, and that is if you learn something, you should take that and use it into your regular life within 48 hours. Otherwise, after that, it's not going to be no more use. And I assume most of you are going back to school tomorrow, which is the perfect opportunity to go out and reach out to your friends. I mean, I'm sure a lot of them went to Robben Island, you make this thing about it, and now you could go back to them and tell them, well, I went to Robben Island, what dignity is. Because dignity, like I said, it doesn't have an official statement in the dictionary. I mean, when we were on our way to Cape Town for the first time, meeting everyone about this campaign, we were sitting on the bus and we just quickly Googled the definition of dignity, and when we realized, well, there's so many little things, we realized that, well, if we don't know it and we actually went to search it on Google, how should all the other people know what dignity is? And I think that is how we should go back to school tomorrow, and wherever you're going, and just take the message that we all learned here, and you go tell it to the people, you go explain to them what it's all about, and also allow them to open up. So you can also open up first, so they can see, well, okay, he or she's opening up to me, so I can open up back to them. And that is how you get people comfortable around you, and just spread the positive vibe about what dignity is and how they can use it in their everyday life.
After all of this experience, there's actually just one thing I want my friends to say when I come back to them. There's only one sentence I want to come from their mouth is, "You've changed." That's what I want them to say to me, because this experience has really made me grow as a person, and I want to take it out there, because at the end of the day, it starts with us. And I know this thing, it's very hard to look at everything bad that's happening in the world and think, how can I change it? So I say to all of us, you don't have to speak in front of 1 million people. Start with the small group you have, because we're still young. We can still implement this ideal to our friends. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to tell my friends about what I did in Cape Town, because some of them just think I came here for a holiday. Well, that's not the thing, you know. So I feel with this thing, as I said, it's a lifestyle. So it's something we should be teaching to even younger kids and all of that, because I've seen younger kids disrespectful and all of that, and I feel it's up to us to sort of change the world, you know, one step at a time, one person at a time, you know. You don't know what your words can do for someone else. So that's what I believe we should do.
Going back to our friends at school, I have a friend who a month ago was diagnosed with cancer. I felt like I needed to be there for her and restore her dignity because she had to cut her hair off, and then she had to wear a beanie. She was ashamed to express how she felt, but I felt like I had to support her since she supported me when I was suffering from depression and anxiety. But she's like a person who likes getting everything into her. She like bottling up things. I helped her restore her dignity after of this dignity campaign, and she was surprised how I spoke to her because I'm also not an open person. But the way I encouraged her, she was really convinced that her parents came personally to thank me because at home she was that person. She's a loud person around people, but when she was diagnosed with cancer, she didn't want to go out of class. We had to go buy her food in break time. But ever since I encouraged her, she was the usual person she used to be. Even her parents came to me and thanked me because they saw how she had recovered. So I think that it's within us that we can help other people restore their dignity, restore their confidence, and help them feel wanted, feeling like they matter.
I don't think we do enough for learners to really understand and value the history behind these days. I think one of the things you and the partners can consider is to work with the education department of which you already are working with. They're always looking for a kind of theme to attach to these days. And maybe for next year and the year to follow, to attach a component of understanding and valuing dignity. Let that become a kind of golden thread for a theme that would be for 2020 Human Rights Day. We heard yesterday about again the history of Sharpeville that became now what we call, I think, Human Rights Day, the dignity of the young people of 16 June 76, whether we still respect what they sacrificed for in a dignified manner, like we're supposed to. So that is something I think can become something that at that higher level you guys can maybe consider.
Sorry, yesterday me and Nicole and a few of us thought of starting a dignity committee at school and basically promoting dignity at school, because I feel like a lot of people don't know what dignity is, and we just want to start this committee and basically teach people what it's all about. And I feel like for the next generation also teach them what dignity is really about. And I feel like when we're older, we will all have like children, and we can teach them what dignity is about, and their children can teach them. And this would just I feel like this would start a huge spread around our country.
I actually had a thought what Nina said now of starting one at school, because basically this is us teenagers. I'll go to my friends and be like, oh, how did it go? You went to Robben Island? Like, yeah, it went well. And I'll tell them about how dignity is, but after a while they'll forget about what I told them. And yeah, so since I am in this program, I know and I have an experience of this, what just happened now. And I think starting a program will be much better. And I think not only in high school, but like going to primary schools as well, because I think it's better when we start with like the young kids as well, so that they can grow with this concept in their mind of dignity. And as an individual, there was once in my life where I felt like my dignity was taken away from me. And I am so happy having to share it with my best friend, because she's the one that made me, that stood me, like I got up again as a person and stuff. So I think you being, like as everyone said, you being that individual that you experience this and you know what dignity means, helping other people, it's a very important thing.
For us, it's very important to be aware that the people who are part of this year's initiative have thought about what they've experienced and particularly also thought about, so how do we take it forward? And so just from an organizational perspective, you will see on the program that in the top, you will see the logo of Antiracism Network of Africa. This is their project. This is Antiracism project. IJR was asked by ARNSA to kind of organize it, because it's an idea that we push, and that's why I will be associated. The Department of Arts and Culture, we are sleeping here, and they made it possible. The food that they had, they made it possible. The ferry ride, so the Department of Arts and Culture really supported us in a big way. And then, of course, the Embassy of Canada, the Canadian Embassy, gave us some money, and so the T-shirts and other smaller things, the flights for some people, those were all covered by the Canadian Embassy. It's important also just to recognize that people make this possible. And these are rare opportunities. And I know you are very conscious of the fact that there are thousands of kids who would love to have been here. But you are there. And you are the right people to be there. And so we just want to and we will say it again later when the Department of Arts and Culture said, we just want to thank everybody who's been involved in making this possible.